Crazy ride for the playoffs. There's a lot of big teams that got eliminated, so anything can happen at this point, especially now we're at the grand final.
Now, speaking of which, let's jump into the champ select by Right Go. Team Secret immediately banning away by Rengar to follow through for FENNEL Adversity banning away Katarina.
I suppose Team Secret just wants to force out the pool of Doming in the jungle, but it's a different story this time as Power, and as well as possibly Shaw and Power as a targeted ban on towards this Gragas, leaving a lot of the jungle options open for Trevor to take FENNEL Adversity. Lots of respect against Tatsuri with the Katarina. He doesn't need that setup at all once he picks that up. But of course, Riven is going to be open for the taking. Could be towards Trevor in the jungle, but also can be flexed at top side, most importantly.
And Azar could actually play this out as well for Riven, as you stated, could go into the Baron lane, but FENNEL Adversity leave Nami and Varus open. We're going to pick it up for themselves, and once again, FENNEL wants this duo, but Team Secret has another duo as well.
Yeah, they're putting Chewy and as well as James here on this lovers duo, so the bot lane can get really, really aggressive. And the fact that the Varus is on the opposite side of the spectrum could be a little bit more vulnerable, especially when it comes to an aggressive dual lane. But looking at FENNEL Adversity now, Shaw will be back on Ziggs duty. So a lot of wave clear, a lot of pokes coming from the Varus and as well as the Ziggs, and as well as strong level 3 early game aggression on this Doming Lee Sin. So we'll see what Team Secret decides to do, what jungler they're going to pick out.
But Team Secret went in for Orianna and Fiora, and this signals to me that they are going for a Riven jungle in this game, and FENNEL Adversity answers with a Singe.
Yeah, they answer this with a Singe, most likely with the adhesive to stop from any of the dashes coming through. They've got the lunge from the Fiora. They've got, of course, the dash as well coming from the Riven, and possibly even towards Tatsuri. So this is a good response, but it is a totally different story, especially we're used to seeing Power on Fiora duty, on that split push duelist at the top portion of the map. So this is a different dynamic that we're seeing from FENNEL Adversity, but not really unfamiliar for the rest of the lanes.
Yeah, and I think this is what FENNEL Adversity wants, but Team Secret, they want to go for the team fight with their draft composition, and I'm excited who will be able to take the early game to bring it into the mid game, late game, as now we're jumping into the warp zone as we are moments away for game number 1 on the grand finals here at the Icon Series fall season. Welcome back, everyone, here to game number 1 as we're now into the rift. Team Secret is going for the standard as well for FENNEL Adversity. Going for 2-man roam into the mid lane to go for the early carries onto the minions.
Yeah, it's the usual switch where they want to get priority as much as they can. Actually, Ziggs can manage on their own, especially Tatsuri. On an Orianna, just a measly level, that's just a measly first skill, rather. So Ziggs will be able to manage that well, of course Shaw rather. And this is going to be a different story. It is a best of 5 series this time around, so Team Secret very familiar in that sort of situation. Meanwhile, FENNEL Adversity again, this is the farthest they've gone in the tournament, in the Icon Series. This for Team Secret, we'll see now as we see top side, Power gonna get poked down a little bit with the vital points here with Azar. It's gonna get flipped around actually, but this opens the opportunity for Azar to reach the second vital point, where Azar is forced to, well, not Azar, Power is forced to get the honey fruit.
Yeah, it's just the pressure that Azar is bringing into the table here in top lane, but now Power going for the same aggression here. Poison and Mega Adhesive. Azar wants to go for the aggression, and now Power will be forced to back away with very low HP, go for the recall.
Yeah, this is not a fun early level for Power. He's gonna definitely need the Seeker's arm guard to be a little bit more tanky. Look at the skirmish.
Rift's cut there. He's not being contested by FENNEL Adversity. He jumps in after he gets the kill down. Xayah is now going through.
Oh,
that's going to be the knock-up for the bubble. And FENNEL Adversity gets the Hustler alongside with pushing Team Secret away.
For Team Secret, they have a very, very strong level 5. Also the potential of the 4-1 with Azar on the Fiora later on. It's going to scale well.
Good root coming in for Zaya. Now Danny wants to go for the engage. It's now gonna be the flash in. First blood for FENNEL Adversity.
Look at that! FENNEL Adversity winning that 2v2 matchup. We talked about this in the draft, how level 2, level 3, Chewy and James on the Lovers duo is going to be very aggressive. But Raffi, with the killer bubble, is able to punish that aggression. And now First Blood even going towards Danny. That is going to help exponentially well. Ferris, once you get that Muramana, and as well as the Yomu's Ghostblade, providing a little bit more on that mobility. Chewy's gonna cancel the recall. Looks like it's not gonna be successful, but FENNEL Adversity off to a good start.
Currently, it's a 1k gold lead, so definitely gonna be a huge, massive lead. But regarding the 1k gold lead, it's not 1k, it's just 500. FENNEL Adversity, we're taking 2 advanced currently for FENNEL Adversity right now. But at the state of the game, we're pretty even for now for Team Secret. FENNEL Adversity getting that first lead, as we stated a while ago, enables Danny to now be able to pick up the Maramune immediately in the 3-minute mark of the game.
He's able to stack that early.
But Domeng here at the top side goes for the roam, goes for the kick down. That's going to kill for FENNEL Adversity once again.
That's a really good bait coming from Power. He was incredibly low. He could have gone lower and could have died, but the patience and the trust coming between Domeng and Power, which led this now to a 2-kill lead coming from FENNEL Adversity. While the timing is not, the death timers rather, pretty forgiving at this point. 6 seconds on the clock before the Rift Herald, and as well as the Air Drake will spawn. And of course, FENNEL and Team Secret. Air Drake may help in their situation, especially Team Secret rather, for their 4-1 approach in the later stages of the game. But of course, for FENNEL, Rift Herald will also be important to open up the map and get First Blood Tower, considering that they already have the early lead in gold.
But look at mid lane. Actually, they might want to go for that route, as you stated. Very important dragon for Team Secret. They could utilize this to go for mobility, but so far, Trevor goes for the Rift Herald, and FENNEL Adversity has their sights on it as well. So this might be the first clash in-game for a 5v5, as FENNEL Adversity is just waiting for the opportunity. Sonic Wave will be readied up, but will not push through. Team Secret will start the Rift Herald once again.
Yeah, they got Scuttler advantage. FENNEL Adversity only has 1 ward there in the pit, but the rest is pretty dark. And now they're getting zoned out by James here. So they have no choice but to just push, let this be, and see if they can get a better hold on towards the dragon. But the thing is, since Team Secret is able to get First Blood, or rather is able to get Rift Herald, they can get First Blood Tower unless Shaw is able to take this down first.
I think he will do it. I think Shaw will be able to take the tower First Blood, because he is it. And FENNEL Adversity takes the Cloud Dragon as well, which means FENNEL Adversity is still on the lead, is still on the driver's seat in this game.
Yeah, this is going to be helpful for the roams, especially Domeng trying to find picks here and there. Look at him. He is sneaking around here. He knows where Tatsuri is. Domeng is just there to clear the waves. And again, this is going to help exponentially how Domeng is able to roam around the map and impact the side lanes. Especially, again, that's how Lee Sins do. And we'll see, though, because Team Secret has a lot of firepower when it comes to the 5v5s. There's easy ball delivery system and shields as well for coming from Tatsuri. And you put that onto Trevor, you put that onto Azar. It's going to be a very easy shockwave setup for sure. Trevor goes in with the stuns, and then you shockwave after. So FENNEL Adversity has to be wary of their position. They have to make sure that they're not clumped together for that opening, or else it could be devastating.
Definitely, I think you have a lot of AoE CC for Team Secret. You have a lot of AoE damage coming for FENNEL Adversity as well. So pretty much these two teams doesn't want to stack the top of each other when it comes to those team fights. For now, they're not doing that. You have Oriana just going for the jungle, Team Secret going for defense into the mid lane. They don't want to give a big opening for FENNEL Adversity, especially in this early game wherein FENNEL has taken the Tower First Blood and the Cloud Dragon already. So Team Secret doesn't want to exponentially grow their disadvantage in this game.
Yeah, they can definitely wait for Azar to take off as well. Tatsuri to have impactful dissonances. And as well as Chewy getting into the later stages of the game to be very scary when it comes to the damage output. And of course, you know, it's a Xayah, has a lot of self-peel involved, so Doming might have to consider a different target. Once you try to go in with a Dragon's Rage, there is going to be that Feather Storm that can potentially punish any aggressive plays. So FENNEL Adversity, very careful. Again, they are also waiting for the second item, Rabadon's Death Cap, for the side of Shaw, or maybe the Orb. We'll see how he decides to go about his build path. But the 2-item spike is one of the sweet spots of the Ziggs, especially if that's timed right on the next dragon. The Ocean Drake will be the next setup later on. And for FENNEL Adversity, they're happy as they've already gotten the first dragon.
Yeah, I think speaking of the same champion, I think Shaw is now building onto potential Infinity Orb in this game, as that will give you extra crit damage alongside with Lud and Zeko. So for now, that will be the state of the items for both FENNEL Adversity and Team Secret. But look at the Vision game for Team Secret though. Ahead against FENNEL Adversity, having 2 Visions, 1 in Tribrush top lane, and 1 in the Baron's Pit, and also in the bottom side of the river. So for now, Team Secret has all these Visions, and FENNEL Adversity is matching it up with 1 on top hill. Actually gives information for them that Rakan is just trying to go in for the flank here into the sidelines in mid lane.
Yeah, they wanted a siege poke in the mid lane. Looking at the vision of FENNEL, it's all towards the riverside. So this is basically protected from any attempts coming from Hamis or Azar roaming from topside to mid lane. And they have the capability of doing so to do this just because of this is a poke-centric composition. They can stay in a lane, poke you out, force you back to base, or even possibly ending in a kill. That is the setup that we will constantly see from FENNEL. Just a bunch of vision hugging the mid lane and constantly poking until, especially once Shaw manages to get farm in, and as well as Danny.
Now 15 seconds left though for the Ocean Dragon to come up. So a good call for Team Secret for now to go for the reset for Tetsuri and Hamis, and even Azar as well is now going for the recall to prepare for the next dragon, as currently they are in a huge deficit considering that this is 9 minutes into the matchup. 2k gold lead already for FENNEL Adversity. And this is exactly not something that you want to do up against FENNEL, especially with their power when it comes to poking down enemy teams rather in the late game. So for now, it's just going to be sights. It's just going to be an information game between these two teams.
Yeah, FENNEL Adversity just wants to protect and hold their ground as much as they can, since they do have priority with all the pokes and the wave clear in the world. And now that the first dragon, or rather the second dragon, is spawned, look at that, Doming already starting it alongside with power, while the 2 carries are basically busy, you know, distracting Team Secret in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Hamis, I think, has his game sense on. The Doming is starting onto the Ocean Dragon, but with ward placement there, they have insights that the Ocean Dragon is now on the reset phase. FENNEL Adversity for now is not going in for it, but they're now splitting up. Doming still continuing onto the Ocean Dragon.
Yeah, Chewy was pretty chunked into dangerously low HP, so that is exactly what FENNEL needs to do and wants to do constantly. Force out these, again, these pokes to forcing Team Secret to back away or even result in a death. But for Team Secret, how do you counter this poke is that you want to just engage first, and the only option they have is setting up flanks coming from Trevor or possibly Azar, which is a little bit challenging given the space that they have, and as well as the vision control coming from FENNEL Adversity. So your next option is Hamis. You put the ball into Hamis and then Shockwave and possibly eliminate or set up Danny and Shaw in an awkward spot, and that is so far what they could do to stop this heavy poke comp that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, they just have to wait for the late game, and I think rather that is the reason why Team Secret is not going for the contest onto the Ocean Drake a while ago, is not going for the hyper aggression against FENNEL Adversity, because when we look at the draft for FENNEL Adversity, they have Doming and Lee Sin. They have a poking composition. The only one that can tank them is Singe, but here into the mid lane, this Chain of Corruption locking down onto Rakan, and FENNEL Adversity goes for the Mega Inferno bot, tidal wave to follow through. That's gonna be the 5-man knockup, and FENNEL Adversity has the advantage in this match. Shockwave will go for the disengage, but that will still be the kill for Danny, bringing down Azar. That will already be the double kill, and Azar is 1 HP, followed through with Danny's arrow. That will be the triple kill for FENNEL.
What a crazy snipe from Danny. He is able to get double kill off of that. And look at the kill scoreboard. It's still clear. 5 kills onto FENNEL. Team Secret unable to find the opportunity. They did. They wanted to grab it, but the tidal wave, Rappy was still alive. Danny was still alive. He even had a barrier. It was Shaw who was practically in danger. And with that, FENNEL is playing this very patiently. Team Secret is forced to, again, do these things, and FENNEL is just doing a good job adjusting.
Yeah. And it's just a huge pressure for Team Secret. I mean, we'd expect this because Doming is on a Lee Sin, but not at this point in time wherein FENNEL Adversity already has 6k gold lead away for Team Secret at this state of the game. And that's just too much to handle. So for now, I think Team Secret needs to be patient, needs to wait for the late game for this team. They still have the Infernal Dragon next objective later on. The Marin Nasher is still going to be alive in this state of the game. So I think when it comes to the objective game, they need 2 of these objectives or even 1 of these to be able to bring this into a late game power spike, to be able to bring this to a late game outscale up against FENNEL Adversity. Because currently, it's not looking that great for Team Secret.
Yeah, looking at the gold lead is 6k already for in favor of FENNEL Adversity here. So now
Power 1v1, Azar, vital points will actually bring him down. Mega Adhesive will slow down Azar, but that won't be the poke. Lunge gets the kill down, but that won't be the 1-for-1. Power gets it back.
I gotta say, I can't really say nice 1v1 because Power is on the Singe, but still he really dealt with that super duper well. Was able to take down Azar before he fell. Shockwave will miss.
Yeah, just only to clear the wave down, but FENNEL Adversity will still get the tier 2 turret. They have Shock to go for the satchel charge. 25% damage easy to take down the turret once again. So FENNEL Adversity now is still on the driver's seat and farther away for Team Secret.
And that is FENNEL Adversity getting another tower down, just as you mentioned, and perfect timing too. 8 seconds on the clock before the next dragon has spawned. And it is going to be the Infernal Drake, of course. We mentioned earlier, this has been one of those sought-after buffs, especially at this point of the game. Want to get that big damage boost, as Trevor will be a human ward here. He wants to start this Baron because they know that FENNEL Adversity will go for this Infernal Drake. Look at the spider senses coming from Power. He knows what's up.
Yeah, that's the ward. Perfect timing coming for FENNEL Adversity now. It's now going to be the clash. FENNEL Adversity starting this up. Power into the front lines. Zoning away the enemy team. That poke coming from Danny. Too much damage. But look at the Infernal Dragon. Doming still starting this up. They don't care about that fight top lane. FENNEL just wants to get the objective, wants to get the lead away from Team Secret.
FENNEL Adversity is playing this so well up against Team Secret. They're just basically getting everything off of the map and denying any sort of exchange from Team Secret. And there was an attempt, and good thing Power was there to lay down that ward and spot out the Team Secret, trying to sneakily take that Baron, rather. And now, so far, look at this lead. It is an 8k gold lead in favor of FENNEL Adversity. And this is, again, a completely different story from when we saw these two duked it out earlier today. It was a complete stomp. 2-0 from Team Secret with a humongous goal lead, and now the script has flipped.
Yeah, it has been flipped indeed. FENNEL Adversity has taken the advantage down. Might be the curse from Osiris. I don't know so far. As of yet, it's still looking bad. But remember, this is still game 1 for now for both these teams so far. Will Team Secret break the curse? Or will FENNEL Adversity come through with the Osiris curse? So for now, gonna be the 1v1 in bot lane. Power once again going in. Power very low in HP, but just the poison damage per second from Power is exceeding expectations. Forces out Azar to go back.
The Power is doing an amazing job just keeping Azar on a tight leash here as the Singe. He might even cancel the port. No, didn't get to see him there as Azar was in the brush, but Power's going to continuously push the bottom portion of the map. Team Secret is forced to respond to this, and now slowly Team Secret's control over the map is dwindling. as again, the biggest juicy target right now in the game could possibly be this Baron, as FENNEL Adversity is now still in the lead, and Team Secret still haven't exactly found the fight that they wanted.
Yeah, they keep on getting limited by FENNEL Adversity with their champion pool. Even when it comes to those objectives, Team Secret is hindered. They need to release that hindrance away for FENNEL Adversity, because if they can't, this will continue to snowball for FENNEL Adversity so far, and it's happening. TS need to find a big bang clash if they want to make something happen.
Yeah, it's FENNEL Adversity having all 3 dragons. It's so difficult to maneuver around the chain of corruptions. Once you want to engage head-on, FENNEL Adversity is there to greet you with the CCs, with the pokes, but here comes the Baron now getting started.
Oh, Trevor's just watching over from the window from far away, has his telescopes out. And FENNEL Adversity going for a disengage here, just zones away the enemy team. That respects the risk of going for an all-in here for the Baron Nashor.
Yeah, Team Secret, they're trying to buy and scare FENNEL Adversity every single time they want to attempt this Baron. They want to buy as much time as they can. Looking at Chewy though, he practically already has those 3 items in his bag. So it could possibly be enough once they find the 5v5 fights that they need and want. Especially the 4-1 that Team Secret will enable, or has enabled with Azar here. He has been, winning. Oh, it hasn't exactly winning, rather, because Power has been doing a good job keeping Azar on a tight leash now. The possible 4v4 could happen after Doming finishes the red buff. Look at this, though. He's able to take that tower down.
Yeah, he's walking through the path of death here for Azar. He's walking through poison, so FENNEL Adversity pressures in mid. Power just clears out a wave easy, because the Elder Dragon will come up at 5 seconds. Another massive, valuable objective will now come up, and this is the time that Team Secret needs to be aggressive, because if FENNEL Adversity takes this once again, they will have every single objective in the game, which Team Secret doesn't want to give for FENNEL Adversity.
Definitely, the shields are going to help them massively. And Team Secret, they want this, considering that they're up against a poke comp.
Though Team Secret is now going to get pincered down. That's going to say his enchant. Going to be forced away. Chain of Corruption, go for the knockoff. Tidal wave, zones away the enemy team. Now, Azar goes through. Repose, negates out the damage down. FENNEL Adversity will not be able to get the kill rather. But we'll put Trevor at half HP, which is the jungler for Team Secret.
There are no ults available on the side of FENNEL, and Trevor still has his, and Chewy has. Let's see though.
Yeah, half HP for the Elder Dragon. Azar is patting himself into the flank and go in.
Oh!
A very low HP
so
coming
low.
from Rihanna and Rakan. And FENNEL Adversity still has it. Now Azar actually initiates the fight. That's going to be flash away. Repulse negates the damage. That's going to be the stun to follow through. Danny at 1 HP. He will not get killed. Azar will not be able to get that steal down, and Team Secret will once again secure their dragon. Everything on the line, and FENNEL Adversity has gotten it once again.
Yeah, this is a 9k gold lead. Every single objective is in their favor. And Team Secret will definitely struggle to get back into this game. It looks like it's a very low kill count in comparison to what we usually see in the playoffs. But FENNEL Adversity has the gold, has the buffs, and having Danny getting most of the kills. Rather, Hummus.
Oh, Doming being sneaky. But it's just a kick. They're just going for close combat. It's just practice for later on.
Yeah, it's definitely practice for sure. Once they see each other again in the when FENNEL Adversity attempts a dragon, this could be take 2. Actually, look at Danny. He's gonna be last here
TPs.
into the pit.
Azar actually TPs in. This might be the disengage. Team Secret wants this. Rakan goes for the quickness and grand entrance, but not going to be able to go for the CC chain. Trevor into the backside, goes for the 1v1. Danny will still live. Team Secret will lose 2 of their members, and now FENNEL Adversity has the advantage. Takes 1 more double kill coming from Doming, and FENNEL has taken everything away. Azar and Chewy, the only ones left for Team Secret to defend the base, and FENNEL Adversity is pushing into the mid lane. Minions are going through. Lane control is in their favor. Team Secret will probably go for the defense, but can't, because FENNEL Adversity has dominated game 1, and they take advantage in the series.
What a start in our series. A big upset here as FENNEL Adversity is able to win this game number 1 in this BO5 series. Remember, when they first faced off today in a BO3 series, Team Secret were able to dominatingly finish that game in 2-0 fashion. And now the tides have turned. The tables have turned. The script has flipped. And FENNEL Adversity was able to win this game number 1 against Team Secret.
Yeah, they showed us in a different light. From that semifinals, we're in for a treat. Team Secret, you cannot expect what we are doing. We're gonna dominate the early game. Whatever you do, we're gonna contest it. And FENNEL Adversity has just done that. Every single objective on the line is in their favor, and they have won it through and through. But for now, let's look at the stats for Team Secret and FENNEL Adversity.
You gotta love how patient FENNEL Adversity was in this game. They knew that they had the poke, they had the range advantage, so they weren't really exactly pressured to start anything. The fact that this composition is a very anti-engage composition where they just wait for Team Secret to go in. They lay out the chain of corruptions. They have a lot of zones. So if Team Secret waits around, they're